Hey guys, and welcome to Car Guy 1999 Reviews. Today we have the 1986, well, thanks to Seacoast House of Cars, forgot that part, sorry Derek. We have the 1986 Alfa Romeo Veloce Quadrifoglio. That's terrible Italian, by the way. This thing's pretty darn cool. 41,000 original miles. This thing is absolutely awesome. I believe it's the Alfa Romeo Spider Veloce Quadrifoglio. But either way, by the way, this is the original top. Yeah, the top has barely ever been up. That's where it's at. So, oh, ow, I know. There you go. Ironically, it's actually a lot more roomy than I thought, except, okay, my chutes, the brake pedal and gas pedal are this far apart. So with my Hokas on, it's very, very tight. But we make do to drive Alfa Romeos. Going slower than most people on this road, but I really don't care because I'm in an Alfa. Jeremy Clarkson, I believe, yeah, I'm 90% sure, he said, Jeremy Clarkson said, "You're not a true car enthusiast until you own an Alfa Romeo." They've always been, in my heart and a lot of people's, the most beautiful cars ever made. This one, I think, still has that. You know, it still has that Pininfarina design look. It's just the quintessential Italian roadster, and they're cheap. Oh boy, are they cheap to buy. But there's just nothing like it. The quirks that you deal with an Italian car, the funny little things they do, and even people that buy Giulia Quadrifoglios know exactly what I'm talking about. They know the weird little quirks, and an Italian car feels alive. It has a soul, a character. Each one is a little bit different, and I love that about them. It's just something that you get into a German car, they just don't, even a modern day Italian car, they still don't have the quirks that these did. They're just fun, man. It's so much fun to drive this car. To think, 40,000 miles since new, all original. I will say, mainly because it doesn't have much rollover protection, visibility is phenomenal. I can see out of this thing better than I can at the top of the Empire State Building. I'll also say, getting in and out, being a heavier set American, is not as bad as I thought. I went into this expecting it to be a lot worse, seeing how I just got out of the Solstice, and I barely fit into that. Oh, what a fun little car. 5-speed manual located in the same place as the Carrera GT. That is maybe about the only... This one's silver. Hey, I can make that comparison too. Actually, these are a lot more similar than you might think. 2-seat, 2-door roadster, shifter right next to the steering wheel. Unfortunately, this might be as close to driving a Carrera GT as I can get. Hopefully that's not the case, but doubtful. Hey, if you or anyone know has a Carrera GT that let me drive, I'd probably pay you $1,000 to drive it. But anybody who owns a Carrera GT, it's pretty doubtful that they're watching this video. No offense to Alfa Romeo owners, but Porsche people are different. Oh, what a cool ride. I never thought I'd actually get to drive one of these because you don't see them much in the States. Yeah, they were sold new here, but last Alfa Romeo I drove was a Stelvio with 100,000 miles on it at work. Even though I love Alfas, I love what they stand for, and I think it comes back to cars like this and the Alfa Romeos of the early to mid 1900s. Alfa Romeos have always been some of the most beautiful cars on earth. And this Roadster is a very, very accessible way into Alfa Romeo ownership. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.